Well, Alex, thank you so much for joining the Author Revolution podcast. I'm so excited that you're here. Now, I spoke a little bit in the introduction about how we met, and obviously 20 books is amazing, so it's just great.
Definitely.
But do you want to tell my audience a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so thanks for having us on. My name's Alex. I'm one of the project leads at BookVault. My specialization, I'm a software developer, so I deal with kind of the more technical side of things, but I also have a hand in the onboarding side, attending events as well. It's nice to get out of the software development cupboard. They let me out every once in a while. So it's just, I guess, engaging with the community and kind of spreading the word of BookVault as well.
That's awesome. Okay, so you got to tell me a little bit more about BookVault. We talked a little bit at 20 books, but I'd love for my audience to know how it works. So can you explain it a little bit?
Yeah, so we're part of a company called Print on Demand Worldwide. So Print on Demand Worldwide has been going for 27 years now. So we're a digital printer based in the UK. We've had a system called BookVault for about 10 years, and that's all focused on the print on demand side of things. And it was always locked away to the larger publishers. So it used to service publishers like Taylor and Francis and Bloomsbury in the UK. During COVID, we decided to take a bit of a change of direction, and we've now decided to open it up to everyone. So instead of fencing it away to people, everyone can now access the service. So we offer a full print on demand service. So you store your titles on our virtual library as such, and then you can order them as and when you need them on a single copy of basis. And for us, I guess our big thing about how we do it is we want to make sure everything's good quality. That's kind of where we sit. We don't send it out unless we're happy with how it comes off the end of our line. The one thing, as I say, people really like about our services is the color. People, especially for children's books, really like how crisp and how well it looks, especially on our kind of coated papers. We offer coated papers. We've got kind of your textbook style papers and also the creamy papers. So we kind of cater to all those different genres as such and how they fit within the industry. One great thing as well is our bindings. So we offer 6 different bindings. We've got your standard paperback. We've got hardback, so that's either as a printed hardback or a cloth. We've got Wiro, spiral, and also staddle stitch booklets as well, which fits really nicely. We also have a range of, I'd say, special finishes as well. So with the cloth books, you can have gold or silver letters stamped on the spine or on the front cover. We can have jackets on the cloth binds and the hardbacks. So it kind of really gives that nice premium finish and just enables you to, I guess, have a nicer overall product as well, especially for those special editions as well.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we offer the whole range of things. So we do the printing side of things. We also handle the distribution side as well. So we distribute your books kind of across the globe. Dealing with the author copies. So if you just want to order some to yourself or whether you want to order them to a bookshop that you've done your own deal with, as well as what a big thing for us as well is direct sales as well. So that really helps people get their books direct to market without going through the likes of Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned that it's global. So if I'm over here in Minnesota and you're over there in the UK, you can do it from anywhere and it's not a big deal?
Yeah, so at the moment, we're solely base printing in the UK. So we've got our facility in the UK. We are looking to expand into America for starters and then other areas. For us, it's just finding a partner that can offer the same quality, the same turnaround times, and the same just, I guess, ethos as us. I mean, for us, we can get a paperback out same day. We can get a hardback out in about 2 to 3 days. So with the way that American printing is at the moment, sometimes it actually works out quicker for us to ship it from the UK than it does for another POD provider to ship it from their factory.
Okay, cool. Well, that's really good to know. So how does your print on demand cost compared to like Amazon or Ingram Spark? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, so obviously being UK based, we've been very lucky in such as, although there's been a small impact over the paper shortage that's been seen in America and been pumping the prices up higher, we've not seen so much of an impact on that. So that enables us to keep the cost price quite low. Also, we've got a fully automated production line, so there's very little hand touching of the books. So it just, you press print and it goes all the way through into dispatch and is packed into a box. So for instance, a 250 page novel on a creamy paper, Kindle publishing generally works out around $3.85. Ingram works out around $4.78, and with BookVault it works out about $3.82. So we really do sit quite low down there in the pricing. And generally, as I say, dispatch may work out a couple of dollars more, but you're saving on the printing. So overall, the price is much more, say, reasonable. And also the turnaround times as well do fit really nicely. Again, kind of hardbacks, KDP generally sits around $8.50 for the same sort of specification, and we sit around $7.46. So again, really nice within the price point.
For sure.
A good thing to mention as well, with color printing. So the way that we do color, if a book has one color page in it, we'll only charge for the color page. We won't charge the whole book as being full color, which is something that KDP and Ingram do generally. So I know we've got customers that like to have the first page of their book to be a nice colorful title page. So they can do that and only pay for that single page as opposed to the whole book being color.
That's really good. Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned that the turnaround times are pretty decent. Do you have an example of like what that would typically be? If you were like, let's say I'm over here in Minnesota and I order 100 books, how long would that typically take?
So it really depends. We have 3 different levels of service. So you can pay for a priority service, a rush service, or a general standard service, similar to kind of how Ingram do things.
Yep.
So if you were to spend it on the rush service, 100 books could leave us, if you were to order it before 7 o'clock in the morning our time, it could leave us the same day, be with UPS to send over to America, and UPS generally take 2 days to get to America. So in as little as 3 days. And certainly for single book orders as well, we can send those. We've got a consolidated service. So we send it in a large box full of USPS parcels. They then get injected into the system. So general US mail generally takes about 3 to 5 days from us. So again, it sits quite nicely with how kind of quickly other POD providers are getting work out at the moment. I think when people see a UK printer, they get a bit scared thinking it's going to.
That's why I thought I'd ask. Yeah. Because heck, you're even beating, like if I order author copies from Amazon, it takes a week at least, even from them. So it's crazy. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, as our standard kind of turnaround, we do 3 to 5 days. But there is, if you've got an event that you haven't quite, I guess it's sprung up on you and you haven't got time to get them ordered, we can get them out a bit quicker, which really helps customers.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so this is obviously a really big topic and one that is really kind of gearing all the authors up right now, which is the direct sales from their website. So if I understand this correctly, you integrate BookVault with like WooCommerce and Shopify and things like that from an author's own website. So could you tell me a little bit more about how that works?
Yeah, definitely. I think for us, our big view is that direct sales is the future, especially in the indie and author community. I mean, not relying on the large giant that is Amazon that might all of a sudden decide they want to shut your account down or put restrictions on certain things. So that's why, we've really focused with BookVault on direct sales. So effectively, all you would do is install the app, whether it be Shopify, WooCommerce. We've got another 5 launching before the Q2, so June time. To include Wix, Squarespace, and all the other kind of e-commerce platforms like that. So effectively, with it being integrated into your website, as soon as a order's placed, we then receive a feed from your website, which tells us what needs to be ordered and where it needs to go. We automatically pick up on that, print it, and dispatch it directly to the customer.
Okay.
So we will say you only pay for us for the printing and the dispatch costs. You keep the rest of the money. And we will automatically kind of handle the fulfillment side. So we'll tell your website it's all automatically been fulfilled and where it's going and the tracking numbers. So it means effectively as an author, you can just sit there, have your website set up in the background, building sales for you. All you need to focus on is the promotion side of things.
That is so cool, especially for authors who are wondering, like, how many books do they have to have on hand? Like I myself typically keep about 10 copies of each of my books on hand, just in case someone purchases it from my website, or if someone like wants me to go to a book signing or something. So I'll have some in stock. So that's really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, something that works quite well as well is because we obviously ship in volume, we get a lot lower cost prices for shipping. So it helps make things a lot cheaper as well. And also it saves having the boxes in the back of your room and cluttering, tripping over them and stuff. So it does work out really well.
That's great. Okay, so one of the things that really like stood out to me too, in addition to obviously having this awesome ability, was the fact that if authors are interested in being able to offset their carbon footprint, you guys have a sustainable reading option. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I guess being a print-on-demand printer, the environment's kind of at the forefront of how we work. Obviously, saving on pulping loads of stock if they don't sell or returns and all that side of things. So obviously, just straight away, printing on demand is a much more sustainable option. We partner with a company called Ecology. They seem to be one of the kind of forefronts in environmental side of things. So as a company ourselves, we pay a monthly subscription which offsets all the carbon of our all the workforce getting into the office, all the kind of production plants and stuff like that. And also, I mean, as far as the trip to Vegas, obviously when we went to Vegas, we put that on there and it offsets that as well. So
Cool.
that plants trees, but also it goes towards sustainable projects. So building more solar farms and stuff like that. But obviously, we do that ourselves, and we want to give authors and people that are selling their books the opportunity to do the same. So we work out the carbon value of producing your book, and then at the point of checkout, you have the ability to offset that. So it comes up at a cost, and then you're able to tick that, and that means that the book that you're producing is being sustainably produced and is kind of a carbon zero product.
That is so.
Um, yeah, exactly. And I think not only that, we've got a lot of authors that like to do promotions on their site. So if you buy a book on my site, we'll plant an extra tree. So we give customers the option to do exactly the same thing. So
Neat.
when you're planting it, you can make a positive impact as well, which is, I think, a really important thing because that's inevitably how the world's heading. We need to do something. So it's a nice
Absolutely.
way of doing it.
That's a really cool option that obviously none of the other printers as of right now are doing either. So that's really cool. I like that you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think I'm hoping they'll catch up in a way because I mean it's very important and something we need to do. But for the time being, yeah, as I say, it's definitely a very unique thing from us.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the questions that just kind of popped into my head was with all the cool things that you're doing, if someone wants to go with you, like I personally would be like, heck yes, I want to do this thing. Is it easy for their books then to find their way into like a bookstore, for instance? Or is it harder for them to get into bookstores?
Yeah, so I think that's something we're really working on this year. So we're looking into venturing into other markets. Certainly, so with our distribution side of things, we distribute to Amazon's, so the US side, the UK side, all of that. I mean, America quite strongly into a Libris as well.
Yep.
So they list all the products. We also in the UK deal with Gardeners, so they distribute to all the bookstores and libraries. And then we're also working on a partnership to try and get into Ingram Content Group as well. That will obviously help a broad range into the US as well.
That's great. That's awesome news. Awesome. Well, I'm definitely myself very interested in this whole endeavor because to me it's just when I was looking at everything that you do before we even decided to have the podcast interview, I was like, wow, look at all the cool things that these guys are doing that none of the other places are offering yet. And it was just that was one of the questions that I forgot to put on my list, but I'm like, this is such a unique opportunity for authors to not only have those direct sales that they were touting it all over 20 books, but just to be able to do it in a way that's sustainable and that's, I don't know, just makes a better impact in the world. I like it.
Yeah, certainly. I think as an author, it's you have your own data. So if someone buys something on Amazon, you don't have the mailing list. You can't retarget those and get them to buy the next release in your series. So it's putting yourself more in control and just really enabling you to expand. And at the end of the day, earning more money as well. That's obviously generally at the top of everyone's list, really.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so how much does it, like if a new author is coming in, they want to try it out, how much does it cost for an author to join and start using BookVault?
So it's completely free to create an account. There is a setup fee per title. So it works out at £19.95, which is around $24.50 at the moment. So that's the setup of one title and handles the, I guess, file upload and the ingestion side for us. That's a one-off cost. So unlike with Ingram, if you replace your files or change specifications, there's a fee there. It's
Yep.
a one-off cost. You can do that as and when you want to. Also, we offer plans, so we're aware that there might be certain people, especially if you've got a large back catalogue when you're first joining. We offer plans to kind of reduce the cost there. So if you're going to be uploading more than if you're uploading more than 5 a month, more than 2 a month, we have a thing called BookVault Indie, and that costs around $31. and that enables you to upload a title for £4.99, £4.95, sorry, as opposed to the 19.95.
Gotcha.
And then also we have BookVault Pro as well, which is $110, which is, as I say, seems quite scary, but with that you can upload as many titles as you want for free. So certainly if you've got a back catalogue of, say, I don't know, 20, 30 titles, you can jump on that plan, upload all those titles, but also the great thing is you're not tied into a contract. So you can swap and change plans however suits your business if your business needs change.
That makes a lot of sense. That's really cool. I was wondering
Yeah,
about that myself because I'm like, okay, well, I've got 20 some odd books. Like, could I just do like 1 month of that higher plan and then drop down into like a more reasonable release schedule plan?
yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. The kind of upload cost is more there as a way of, I guess, stopping people releasing low content books and stuff, which is still completely fine. I think it's just we like people to have a bit of a commitment in a way, not just adding stuff as and when they want to. If you get
For sure. Well, and it helps you kind of keep your foot to the pedal so that you're getting it up there and getting it finished too.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Well, is there anything else about BookVault that we need to know that authors need to be aware of before they make a decision or go check things out? Like, is there anything we missed?
No, I think very much the way that we work is we don't want you to be exclusive. So we're well aware that there's other platforms that may help you. I guess BookVault can definitely assist in your author journey. So it's a case of it may not tick all the boxes, but it'll certainly tick a lot of them. So I guess you can use it in conjunction. A lot of customers like to use BookVault for direct sales and their own orders, and then also use KDP because I mean Amazon sell really well on Amazon. That they're obviously good. It's their store. They know what they're doing. So yeah, it's definitely, as I say, whatever works well, we're happy to work with.
Gotcha. So does that mean you can pick and choose kind of like, Draft to Digital or something along those lines where you pick which sites you are going to publish using BookVault too? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So you can choose which retailers you want to work on. So specifically, I know a lot of people that use KDP don't particularly like listing additionally on Amazon because it can cause metadata mismatches and stuff like that. So yeah, if you don't want to list on Amazon, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever pleases you, really.
Oh, gotcha. That's a really unique way to be able to do it then. So if you wanted to do all the direct sales and not have to worry so much about Amazon or anyone else, you can run it all through BookVault just from your website. And you guys are like the main deal for all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as I say, we're aware that, as I say, people want to choose what they want. We don't want a tiny one in. It's all about choice and what works best for you.
Very cool. But obviously, if they can and they like the quality, which it sounds like it's fantastic, then
yeah,
it might be a no-brainer to just spread it all around.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like to. It always sounds very big-headed when people are like, when I keep going on about our quality, but. I say from 20 books, it's people really are happy, especially children's books. I know there's a real gap in the market really for really high quality glossy kids books.
Absolutely.
I mean, even illustrations within, I guess, novels and stuff like that, just it really does come out really nicely. I mean, something we've worked on whilst I've been here. We got a new inkjet a couple of years ago, and we've been working with them, and it's just really crisp, nice, clean images.
That's great. I love that. Well, if my audience wants to find out more about you or find out more about BookVault, how do they look you up?
So the main point of call will be our website. So that's bookvault.app. We've actually got a promotional code as well for the podcast. So if you use the promo code Revolution, that will give you a first title free. So it will just help, I guess. You can view the platform, see how you look, and then see if you want to kind of carry on and say get all your products uploaded onto there. On there, we've also got blogs, help guides and stuff like that, and also download templates. So it's a really good portal in a way to, even if you're not jumping straight onto the platform, to help you start your journey and get in the know-how of how POD works and all that side of things. We also have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. So on there, we occasionally release promotions as well, whether it's free titles, percentage off your print and stuff like that, as well as kind of keeping up to date with what we're planning to do in the future, as well as new releases on the platform as well. And then also we're attending a lot more events this year as well. So in the UK, we'll be at London Book Fair and the Self-Publishing Show live. And then as well in the US, we're obviously attending 20 Books Vegas again. It's an absolutely fantastic event. So we're really looking forward to it.
Yes.
And as well, if you've got any questions as well, you can always reach out to us via email. We've got a live chat as well. So we're very much about helping people. So let us know. There's no ticket system. You won't get stuck in a queue for a week. We generally reply within around 12 hours as well. So
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Alex. I'm so glad that you're here and explaining this, because for me, when I first learned about you at 20 Books, it was I was kind of like, oh, I didn't know they existed. And so I was doing more digging and looking around, and I'm so excited to kind of play around with the way that your system works. And I'm definitely looking at it for the WooCommerce side of my website so that I can do more direct sales this year. So I'm excited to learn more myself. I'm kind of a newbie, and I'm so thrilled that I was able to meet you at 20 Books.
yeah, no, likewise. Yeah, as I say, it's something we've not really been in the American market, but we're really starting to hopefully go over there with Storm. So yeah, it's good.
I love it. Well, thank you.
And thank you for having us.